hot streak, and it's the Cardinals that you expected at the beginning of the year. Like,
if the Cardinals play at their
yeah,
absolute
no,
best,
if
well,
it's
I mean
if it's
that's what
the
every team is.
yeah,
But
exactly, it's that sort of team. So
like the
if the
Bengals' best probably beats the Cardinals' best, but I don't know if
sure,
the
I don't know.
Patriots' best beats the
I
Cardinals'
don't think it
best.
does. The Patriots best against the Cardinals best. I really don't fear the Patriots because the Patriots defensive style is like overtly, like openly, to take away your number one thing, and the Cardinals offense at its best is not limited to just one thing.
Yeah,
Because if
almost
you
scarily
decide
so at the beginning.
at the beginning, totally, yeah, like if you decided that your one thing was we're gonna contain Kyler Murray, which is probably the thinking, because Kyler Murray is good at passing on the run and he's good at running. So if you decide, okay, we're going to try and contain Kyler Murray, well, funny story, Kyler Murray's pretty good at standing on his tippy toes and throwing to DeAndre Hopkins or whatever. Um,
Or at this point,
and if you decide
apparently
it's
anyone. Apparently,
anyone, yeah, and if you decide, as long as they catch it,
yeah.
and if you decide that, if you as the Patriots decide that your one thing you want to take away is, sorry, what do you call it? If you decide that your one thing you want to take away is
Deep routes and passing.
the DeAndre Hopkins, because it's not even like
Yeah.
deep routes. It's not. It's literally like we're gonna take away your guy. Like what they did to the Falcons was like we're gonna take away Julio Jones. And for the first half, Matt Ryan was like, okay, awesome. I'm gonna throw to my running backs, and we're gonna score a lot of points. You know, like if you have enough dynamics, it just I don't really believe in the Patriots' defensive style. If um, I mean, obviously it won them plenty of Super Bowls, but Tom Brady was there, and that makes a big difference.
Tom Brady said, "We're not playing like that anymore."
Well, not even Tom Brady was just like, okay, I mean, you can have fun doing that. I'm just going to score a touchdown every time. That help? Great. Um, so it was, yeah. But what do you call it? The Patriots' defensive style against the Cardinals best. I would feel sad for the Patriots just because what are you going to do? Take away DeAndre Hopkins, AJ Green, Christian Kirk is fast, Andy Isabella is fast. You have two good receiving running backs, and that Chase Edmonds and James Conner are both good in like the screen pass type game. RPOs are really strong. Kyler Murray can run. So if you've just taken away DeAndre Hopkins, then Kyler Murray's going to run for. Remember at the beginning of the season, he would run for 3rd and 19 and get it? That's dumb. That's
Oh
unfair.
my
Like,
gosh.
he could do that to people.
Oh,
So,
I miss those games.
right? So, yeah, Kyler Murray does that to you if you just decide that you're going to focus DeAndre Hopkins. And even then, you focus DeAndre Hopkins. At this point, they've added Zach Ertz, too,
Yeah.
who
Oh
looks
my gosh, see,
fantastic.
he's the only reason they've
Like
been winning their last
his
few games.
his play has been
Jeez.
fantastic. Um, so yeah, what are you gonna do? You're gonna limit DeAndre Hopkins and let Zach Ertz torch you from the seam, like down the seam for 200 yards and two touchdowns? Like happily, I think Kyler Murray will happily win a Super Bowl by throwing it to Zach Ertz 20 times. Like, I don't think he can. Not 20, that's a lot, but you know what I mean. Between AJ Green, if they start to utilize him properly, in because he's shown flashes when they've thrown him routes that
Yeah.
are like that play to his style of being big and strong and getting up high and contesting. So if they let him play like a basketball player, then AJ Green will get a lot of points and Zach Ertz will get a lot of points and so say DeAndre Hopkins is back, which I don't know if he's supposed to be, but if he's back in the Super Bowl and the Patriots were like, oh, let's take him away, then I have a lot of faith in the Cardinals to just do other things and win. And if they try to
That
hem
actually
Kyler
might be
Murray in,
really
they
good.
might find out that Kyler Murray is actually really good at just
Yeah.
throwing because he is.
If
He's
they can bring
fantastic.
DeAndre Hopkins back, and if the Patriots just assume he's going to be good,
Yeah, yeah, no,
because
it'd be
I don't
great.
know if he would be if he just comes
Because I
back
don't
for the
know if
Super
he'd be
Bowl
great, but that's the thing. If you end up double teaming DeAndre Hopkins, who has one foot,
for like the
like
first
awesome.
quarter and nothing
Yeah,
happens.
Cardinals will go up 21-0, throwing to Zach Ertz and AJ Green. Like awesome. They don't care. Yeah, or yeah, with Kyler running, and then if you decide to try and just hem in Kyler, he's just gonna like beat you with screen passes, screen passes, screen passes. James Conner all of a sudden has 100 yards receiving and two touchdowns in the first half, and it's like, oh crap, what do we do? You know, so that's the team that if the Cardinals made it to the Super Bowl, I'd be pretty happy about their chances.
Yeah, they do not look like that. They do
No,
not look like that.
am I happy about their chances to beat the Rams? No, no, I'm not. Like I'm not happy about their chances to get through Week 1. Except that there was a little bit of fear in the way the Rams offense played for whatever reason in their last game. Um, like after the first couple of drives, just for the rest of the game and in overtime, even when they were succeeding, they just looked afraid. Every time that Stafford threw a pass, he seemed scared
Like they're
that it
not
would be
trusting the
intercepted. Like,
quarterback to
I'm
throw.
not sure if I think there must have been a lot of pressure on him, just the way that he was throwing. It just seemed like he was like afraid he was going to get hit while he was throwing, or afraid it was going to be picked or something. Like he was super nervous, especially in overtime. He threw it to then this is partially play calling too, so I'm not blaming Stafford per se,
Yeah.
but he threw it to Odell Beckham Jr. like 4 times in a row, and he hadn't really been throwing to him that much in the game. So maybe that was their plan in overtime. Is they're like, all right, they're going to be guarding Cup, they're going to be guarding Higbee, and I'm just going to expose the Odell Beckham Jr. matchup a bunch. But after it didn't work 3 times, and then you try a 70-yard deep pass to him, I'm like, what are you doing? And then yeah, the throw was super off, unfortunately, because Stafford's a great passer. But yeah, like Odell streaking down the sideline has his guy beat by like 4 yards. Honestly, if Stafford leads him 5 yards up and 4 yards in, it's a touchdown. And with like a high lob pass, that's a touchdown. And instead, he throws it 4 yards behind him and to the sideline. Like it was just
Yeah.
something was wrong. I don't know if AJ Green ran or AJ Green. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know if Odell maybe ran the wrong route. I doubt it. It seemed like a like a just straight shot to the end zone, and um, Stafford threw it like it was a goal line fade. So I don't. So there was a
Yeah.
little bit of fear in the Rams' offense. Is all I'm saying. So that is hope to me. In that if like Byron gets a pick right at the beginning, or Chandler gets like a big strip sack, and all of a sudden the Cardinals get on a hot streak on defense, and the Rams' offense starts playing scared, then I think you have a chance. But
Mm-hmm.
if the Rams don't play like they did last week, and they play like the Rams, like I fear for the Cardinals' hopes of being the being in the second round of the playoffs, let alone the Super Bowl against the Patriots or whatever the ideal scenario
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. I just wish my team wasn't so much by the week now.
Yeah, me too. Too many teams like that right now. Chiefs, Rams, Cardinals. There are a number of teams where you're really like, I hope they show up. And unfortunately, teams that I don't have that fear about are more like the Packers, where I'm not really worried that the Packers are just not going to show up.
I wish.
I think there are a couple of teams who really might have a good chance of beating them, but I don't
But if
think
they
that the
show up,
Packers are gonna. Yeah, if they show up, but I don't think the Packers are gonna beat themselves. In the way that a team like the Chargers, who has all this potential, can just get like 150 yards of penalties against them for some reason. Like why? The Cowboys, I think, have a good chance of beating the Packers, but not if they play like they do every other week. Like I don't know, it's weird. So all of that I guess to say, if I could just pick it, it'd be like Cowboys Bengals. I just think that'd be so fun. Or Rams Bengals too would be exciting. But Cardinals Patriots would be a nice one because we'd get to see your team win. I think
be great.
should be great. Uh,
You don't want to see the Bucks in the Super Bowl against anyone, or
I would. The Bucks would be great, and I hope they beat the Packers. I hope they get a shot at the Packers just because they, I think, are the team that's really like designed and ready to beat the Packers. So I look forward to hopefully the Bucks beating the Packers. I really don't want to watch the Packers in the Super Bowl. I don't think I will because the Packers seemed kind of cursed to not win the NFC Championship game. Just, I guess too bad for them, but I don't care. But
uh-oh.
I just love to see like new faces, like Matthew Stafford in the Super Bowl, Dak Prescott in the Super Bowl, that type of thing. Like new faces are always fun. But yeah, the uh, the Bucks would be super fun too. To see Bucks Patriots would be an exciting one, just in that it'd be him against his old team. So it'd be a dramatic one,
Yeah.
maybe not an exciting one. They might play a really boring game, to be honest, but it'd
Both
be a
play
dramatic
boring.
one.
Both.
But it'd be dramatic. It'd be fun, and so that'd be exciting. But I wouldn't pick it if I got to choose. It'd be like Cardinals Titans or like Cowboys Bengals probably. Cardinals Titans would honestly be so fun, just on warrant of it being like the rematch of that Week 1 blowout.
Yeah.
Um, a lot would
I
have
mean,
to
it
change
probably
for the
wouldn't be
Cardinals
as
to get
interesting if the
there.
Cardinals win. If the Cardinals just won twice, it'd be like,
Yeah, if it's a really close, high-scoring
yeah.
game, it'd be interesting regardless.